Well, I thought it'd be pretty nice to give a little update. Had a pretty good test for this tent. This is a 12 by 14 wall tent with a rain fly over the top. Got one window in the back. I would recommend go ahead and getting a window there and a window there. It's late October. The Feast of Sukkot, Feast of Tabernacles, and so I was expecting a lot warmer or a lot cooler weather than we had, but at any rate, pretty nice. A little warm, like 90. It's only 30 degrees above where it should be right now. But anyway, the reason I'm doing this video is sleeping arrangements. We just had 2 solid hours of a torrential downpour, and I have no leakage. I'm very impressed. We've had 4 days of high winds in Oklahoma, as you well know if you're from Oklahoma. So I spent a good part of my life in Oklahoma. You know that it gets very windy anytime, all times of the year. And this thing stayed in there where other tents in the camp did not. There's a shofar laying on the 4-dog stove. Probably don't see that too often, but yeah, I've been hunkered down in here. Didn't get to use the stove this time. It's been, like I said, 25-30 degrees warmer even at night than normal. So I just pulled the stack off. The rain fly does have an opening up there, which I wish I had known that. I would have put a flap over the top of it or Velcro something over the top. But I just took the stack down since it's warm enough, and then folded down my my regular canvas on that. And it's that water retardant on there's doing great. No leaks. The only water I had in here is the tarp I have underneath this floor. I'll tell you about this floor in a second. I highly recommend it if you can figure it out. But at any rate, the only water I had in here, I have a tarp that's actually 12 by 16, so I had to fold under a couple of feet to get it right underneath the legs, and that fold right back over here gathered some water and kind of rolled it down right here, and it puddled. But all I did was just kind of open up the tent right there, and it ran right out because I'm on just a slight slope right here. I'm gonna tell you about this carpet I have. So what I've got is I've got a 12 by 16 tarp underneath this. The tent is 12 by 14, but this carpet is actually, all of your new football fields and soccer fields are made of this imitation field turf. I forget what they call it. I should know. My son plays football, but at any rate, his high school, year before last, redid their field. This is not the old turf. These are little remnants of the new turf, and this is very rubberized on the bottom. If you can find a field or something that has this, so you can see a little water there. This is very thick rubber underneath. So I will have these two. I've got some more at the house. I hope I got one that's a couple of feet longer. As you can see, that second piece there is a seam there. It's kind of overlapped it. I've not had any problem tripping over it or anything because it comes right in the door. You stay this side of it most of the time. But if you can find an old athletic center or a high school that's getting new turf, or order some of this in, man, it's a little heavier than your standard AstroTurf. Actually, it's quite a bit heavier duty. But what they do with this is they'll go in and they'll sand this, fill it about halfway up with sand, and then that rubber stuff. This is actually about 3 inches long or better, and it's real soft for the players when they fall on it, and it helps out with the injury prevention and that type of thing. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I just went through, and this is no lie, well over 2 hours of high winds, major rainfall, and I've checked every seam, I've checked every corner, I've checked, everywhere. Absolutely no leakage at all. It did great. I'm stunned. I know people around with alacnacs that have some leakage around the doors. So I'm glad I went with this. Along these same lines, I'd go with the 4 rafter system in a 12 by 14. 12 by 14, and me and my wife and my mother slept in here just fine. We had 3 cots. This is a large Cabela's cot. I had a large Cabela's cot here, a small one in the middle, and we have aisles to walk by, put our stuff underneath. It was worked beautifully. And man, I really wish I could have got the 4-dog rolling this trip, but maybe next time. Right now, it's just got a candle on it, an incense holder, and the riser's still there, but one of my shofars. Never mind the toilet paper on the right there. I've got my great axe I brought in. But that's a tote I just turned on. It's kind of a catch-all. You need that in any tent camping trip, as you well know. Just a place where everything kind of collects. There's my knives. Jeff White bush knife and butcher knife. My pack. My seat right there. And I just been in here just enjoying the Lord the last few hours, because it's been tough. People are starting to get out now. Had a huge strike of lightning over here real close to camp, but anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, but I'll tell you right now, man, if you got a chance to get a wall tent, it's dark outside, but one thing I would do is, you know, I've got my rain fly that goes out the porch that extends out, and then the rain fly is just large enough to cover it. Excuse the focus. But I would highly recommend it. I got mine from Davis, and just pick up the phone and call Davis. That's all I'm saying. There's others. 1010 on the outside. Very breathable. It's a little warm. I mean, like I said, it's warm. This is not a summertime tent unless you've got a window on each side. I didn't plan on using this during the summer, so I didn't get a window on each side. I really wish I would have. I would recommend you do, and you may, I don't know if they will or not. I'd recommend it be a little smaller, because this window they put in the back is huge, and I can't imagine it being on each side. And it'd take off a lot of that space right there between those 2 rafters. But you know, if you could get like an 18 by 18 window there and on the other side, it'd just be perfect. I might even send it back to them and see if they'll do that for me. I don't know. It's that important, because this is like a cabin. It's a house. I mean, you could live in this thing if you had to. It's that good. I'm impressed with it. And if you can come up with, all you wall tenters, all you campers, if you can find a high school that's repairing their football or soccer field, and you can commandeer a couple strips of this field turf, you will not be disappointed, because it's very thick. So I've got a tarp under it, and it's very thick rubber on the other side of it. This is not your normal AstroTurf, and you can walk around this thing barefoot. It's rocky under this thing, sticks, everything else, doesn't matter. I just threw the tarp out and then rolled this out. It's just, you know, it's a little heavier than your standard AstroTurf, but man, it is nice. But anyway, I hope you folks out there searching for a tent got something out of this. I know I spent a lot of time. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't have time for it. But I'm gonna throw this on there. It's that good to help some of you folks out there where I was, 3-5 years ago, trying to figure out what to do. And if I made the right decision, I did my research, I'd get a Davis wall tent 1010 with a Sun 4, every treatment you can get on it, a full rafter system, 12 by 14 if you've got 2 or 3 of you, maybe 4 of you in sleeping bags, and get some field turf, get the awning over the top, or get the eave sleeves on the outside, get the vinyl tarp cover to go out, and I've got some other ideas on how to screen that in and kind of waterproof that, because it's a little moist. You walk outside that door 3 steps and you're in. Of course, the wind was blowing, and when it was, we had like that horizontal rain. So, man, I'm just so impressed. I was expecting some kind of puddling, something up in the inner corners or whatever, and just totally impressed. Davis Tent and Awning. I don't know them. I'm just telling you. You want to do it right. And the Colorado door, I'd get the Colorado door. I thought it'd be a little cumbersome. It's a little short because of it. You kind of got to duck in. I'm not overly tall, but you kind of got to duck in at any rate. But I like it because you can just kind of lay it over and it kind of closes everything up. And also, you don't have to zip the zipper. You can buckle the buckles if you want to. But a screen door there, I really don't need. There's enough breeze coming through that rear window, as large as it is. I don't need another screen door on that side. But I would love, and I'm really considering when the season's over, paying the extra money to ship this back to them, or find a local awning place to put me a couple 18-inch windows in there. That would be ideal. I don't know. I might even put me a little hole right in there for a little AC unit. I'm not sure. I like to rough it. We don't use electric, so maybe not. But at any rate, what a great deal. I'm just, like I said, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a camper and a hunter and a little bit of a bushcrafter, and I'm here at Sukkot keeping the feast of the Lord, and that's what all this is about. And by the way, I highly recommend all you folks out there looking forward to the greater Exodus and celebrating the feast of Sukkot. If you're divided on which tent to get, just do it. Get a wall tent. You'll be glad you did.